Hello everyone, and welcome back. Imagine buying your dream suburban home. White fence, green lawn, peace and quiet. Then, one morning, you get a letter saying your grass is too green. Yes, welcome to the world of homeowners associations, or, as some call them, Neighborhood Overlords Anonymous. Today, we're diving into the 50 dumbest HOA rules in American suburbs. A world where logic takes a backseat to beige paint codes and mailbox height regulations. In this video, you'll hear about a neighborhood that banned pickup trucks, another that fined residents for having basketball hoops, and one that literally outlawed fun, so grab a snack, hide your garden gnome, and let's jump in. Oh, and make sure to subscribe so no HOA ever fines you for failure to engage with community content. 1. The wrong shade of green law. Dallas, Texas. Some HOAs in North Texas have taken lawn perfection to Olympic levels. One community in Dallas issued fines because homeowners used the wrong shade of green for artificial turf. The HOA demanded natural meadow green, not emerald. Imagine the meeting where someone held up 2 samples, saying, "This green offends me." The absurd part, the fine was $200 per day until corrected for fake grass. Apparently, even plastic nature must conform to the neighborhood's vision of reality too. No pickup trucks allowed. Coral Springs, Florida. In this Florida suburb, the HOA banned homeowners from parking pickup trucks in driveways overnight. They argued trucks made the neighborhood look less classy. So, a plumber could own a $90,000 Ford F-250, but had to hide it like it was a getaway car. Residents protested, saying, "We work for a living. We just want to park at home." It took years and a lawsuit before the rule finally got overturned. 3. Only beige paint. Scottsdale, Arizona. In one luxury HOA near Scottsdale, there was an approved list of Desert Harmony paint colors, which meant every single house had to be beige. One guy painted his home soft almond, which, according to the board, was too cheerful. They fined him daily until he repainted it approved beige. Apparently, the only acceptable color of happiness is sand. 4. The Great Bird Feeder Ban. Atlanta, Georgia HOA decided bird feeders were messy and disruptive. One elderly couple was fined for unauthorized avian activity. The board argued that birdseed attracted squirrels, which lowered property values. Neighbors joked that even the birds had to pay HOA fees to visit. The couple eventually moved out, probably to somewhere with more freedom and more robins. 5. No holiday decorations before December. Naperville, Illinois. One banned Christmas lights before December 1st. One family who hung lights early was fined for premature illumination. They argued they just wanted to enjoy the season longer. But the HOA said, rules are rules. Even Santa would need a permit here. And you can bet someone in that neighborhood patrols rooftops with binoculars every November 30th. 6. Garage door. Surveillance. Denver, Colorado. In a suburban development outside Denver, the HOA literally installed cameras facing garage doors to make sure residents kept them closed. They claimed it was for security reasons, but fines came in for anyone who left theirs open longer than 10 minutes. One guy got fined while unloading groceries. Imagine living somewhere. Your garage door is under constant watch. Big Brother with a leaf blower. 7. No kids. Toys on lawns. The board ruled that visible toys create visual clutter. Parents couldn't leave bikes or soccer balls in front yards, even for a few hours. So, families had to hide toys like contraband. One dad joked, "It's like living in a showroom instead of a neighborhood." Nothing says community spirit like banning childhood joy. 8. The mailbox measurement rule. Raleigh, North Carolina. Here, the HOA handbook literally dictated mailbox height down to the inch, exactly 42 inches from the curb. One resident replaced his mailbox post and made it, brace yourself, 43 inches tall. The HOA fined him for non-conforming postal presentation. He measured it again, found it was actually 42.5, and still lost the appeal. Precision matters more than sanity. 9. No curtains with patterns. Henderson, Nevada. HOA near Las Vegas banned patterned curtains visible from the street. Floral, plaid, anything not solid, instant violation. Their logic, visual uniformity improves resale values. So one homeowner put up solid white curtains, then then painted murals inside his house instead. Technically, the HOA couldn't see them. That's how rebellion starts, one paisley curtain at a time. 1-0. The Lawn Ornament Rebellion, Charleston, South Carolina. In Charleston, a woman placed a small frog statue on her lawn. The HOA fined her for unauthorized decor. She removed it, then her neighbors put up dozens of frog statues in protest. Soon, the whole block was filled with amphibian art. The HOA backed down, probably realizing they'd created a frog army. Never underestimate the power of suburban unity and petty revenge. 11. The Flagpole Feud, Tampa, Florida. One veteran installed a small flagpole in his front yard to fly the American flag. The HOA fined him for violating aesthetic standards. He offered to lower it or move it, but they refused. The story hit the local news, and public outrage forced the HOA to back down. So now, every house on that street flies a flag, partly for patriotism, partly just to annoy the bored 12. No basketball hoops, Sacramento, California. This HOA banned portable basketball hoops because they encouraged loitering. Parents argued it gave kids a safe place to play after school. The board said it disrupted the peaceful appearance of the neighborhood. Residents responded by drawing chalk courts in their driveways. When suburban rebellion looks like a pickup game, you know things have gone too far. 13. Pet size limits, Phoenix, Arizona. Here, homeowners were allowed dogs under 25 pounds only. One couple adopted a golden retriever puppy. Totally fine at first, but once the dog grew, they got fined for exceeding the weight restriction. Apparently, their HOA expected dogs to freeze in time. They even suggested rehoming the dog, which the family refused. The rule was later voted out after multiple complaints. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of dog people. 14. The invisible fence scandal, Columbus, Ohio. A homeowner installed an invisible fence for his dog. No physical barrier, totally hidden. Still, the HOA fined him because any containment device required written approval. He argued there was nothing to see. No posts, no fence. The board said, "We know it's there." So apparently, HOAs can now enforce imaginary violations. 15. No clotheslines allowed, Charlotte, North Carolina. This rule banned residents from hanging laundry outside because it looked poor. Yes, sunlight on a bedsheet was considered offensive. One eco-conscious family tried to argue it saved energy, but the HOA said aesthetics come first. Imagine banning sustainability in 2025 because it clashes with beige vinyl siding. So they hid a retractable clothesline behind a tall hedge. Problem solved. Rebellion level mild. 16. The flower pot incident, Boise, Idaho. One woman placed pink flower pots on her porch. The HOA said pink was not an approved color for outdoor decor. She offered to repaint them, but the board wanted them gone immediately. In protest, neighbors lined their porches with pink pots too. Within a week, the entire street looked like a Pepto-Bismol commercial. 17. The quiet hours police, San Diego, California. This HOA enforced quiet hours from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. That meant mowing, hammering, or even loud conversation outside was prohibited. One guy was fined for laughing too loudly at a backyard barbecue. He joked that the HOA should hand out decibel meters with the welcome packet. Apparently, joy must be kept at library volume. No vegetable gardens, Salt Lake City, Utah. This community banned front yard vegetable gardens, calling them agricultural eyesores. One family grew tomatoes and herbs neatly arranged in planters. The HOA said it violated landscaping harmony. After a long battle, the city passed a law protecting residents' right to garden, a victory for suburban farmers everywhere, because nothing says freedom like defending your right to grow a tomato. 19. Banning garage sales, Orlando, Florida. The HOA decided garage sales attracted outsiders, so they banned them altogether. One woman who tried to sell her old furniture got a fine for unauthorized commerce. She moved the sale online and sold everything anyway. Now her neighbors joke that Facebook Marketplace is the underground economy of their neighborhood. 20. The gnome ban, Portland, Oregon. A whimsical resident placed a few garden gnomes near her walkway. The HOA ruled them non-conforming ornaments and demanded removal. She replaced them with miniature dinosaurs instead. When told dinosaurs weren't allowed either, she replied, "They're technically fossils." That's how you win a petty war with creativity and humor. 21. No car washing in driveways, Irvine, California. One pristine Orange County neighborhood, the HOA banned washing cars at home. Why? Water streaks, lower community appearance. They even patrolled for wet driveways on weekends. Residents were told to use approved commercial washes only, so people started meeting at the car wash like it was a social club. Because when you outlaw soap in buckets, you just create a black market for sponges. The tree height rule. Seattle, Washington. This HOA required every front yard tree to be exactly 12 feet tall. No taller, no shorter. One resident's maple hit 14 feet, and they fined him $100 a week until he trimmed it. He called it arboreal discrimination. Eventually, the HOA sent an actual arborist to supervise cutting. Somewhere, nature just sighed. 23. No curtains open during the day. Boca Raton, Florida. In this neighborhood, homeowners were told to keep curtains closed between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The reason? Visible clutter inside homes ruins the aesthetic. So, if you had kids, toys, or laundry showing, that was a violation. One homeowner wrote back, "Are we a neighborhood or a spy agency? It's hard to enjoy sunshine when your own HOA bans daylight 2-4. The driveway chalk crackdown. Louisville, Kentucky. Kids drawing chalk art. Not here. This HOA fined parents for temporary graffiti after children drew flowers on the sidewalk. The parents tried washing it off but still got warnings. One kid drew a stick figure holding a free the chalk sign next week. If irony were illegal, that child would be in serious trouble. 25. The front door color drama. Richmond, Virginia. Homeowner painted his door a soft robin's egg blue. The HOA said the approved palette stopped at muted tones only. They ordered him to repaint it gray. He fought back by repainting it slightly different shades of blue every week. By the end of summer, the board surrendered. The door stayed blue. And the legend group 26. No solar panels. Albuquerque, New Mexico. One HOA banned rooftop solar panels because they disrupted roof uniformity. Yes, they preferred fossil fuels over visible innovation. A resident installed them anyway, and the HOA fined him. Local news picked up the story, and the city passed a right to solar law. Now every roof on that block has panels. A victory powered by sunlight and stubbornness. 27. Trash can time limits. Austin, Texas. This one's a classic. Trash cans had to be placed curbside no earlier than 6 a.m. and removed no later than 6:05 p.m. One man who missed the deadline by 20 minutes got a $75 fine. He appealed, saying his work shift ran late. They replied, "Plan better." So now, residents have synchronized watches on trash day. It's less of a neighborhood and more of a time trial event. 28. No curtains visible from the street. New Orleans, Louisiana. Homeowner installed lace curtains, elegant and classic. The HOA declared them too ornate and demanded removal. He replaced them with blackout drapes. Next week, they complained the house looked unwelcoming. Apparently, you can't win. Your windows must express joy, but only in board-approved tones. 29. No work vehicles. Atlanta, Georgia. This HOA prohibited commercially marked vehicles in driveways overnight. That meant plumbers, electricians, even landscapers couldn't park their vans at home. One electrician covered his company logo with magnets each night. The HOA called that deceptive compliance. He called it creativity. Eventually, the city stepped in and told the HOA to relax. Working people have driveways too. 30. The fence. Color fiasco. Omaha, Nebraska. A family painted their wooden fence white to match their house trim. The HOA said white wasn't an approved fence color, only natural wood tones. So they sanded it down, only to be told the new stain was too rustic. At this point, even the fence gave up emotionally. The family finally replaced it with shrubs, which, ironically, were not regulated. 31. The no parking on your own street rule. Fairfax, Virginia. This HOA decided driveways weren't enough. Residents couldn't park on the street overnight. They claimed it made the neighborhood look congested. One man got fined for leaving his car out while his driveway was being resealed. He appealed, and the board said, "You should have parked elsewhere." As in, where? Mars. Apparently, in this neighborhood, your curb isn't yours. 3-2. No backyard chickens. Denver, Colorado. Even though the city allowed small backyard coops, one HOA banned them for being too rural. A family kept two quiet hens named Dolly and Reba for eggs. The HOA issued fines and ordered the removal of livestock. The family complied and replaced the hens with lifelike wooden statues instead. Now the neighborhood has chickens that never sleep, squawk, or stop smiling. smiling. 33. The welcome mat violation. Raleigh, North Carolina. Yes, even doormats aren't safe. One homeowner had a mat that said hello, sunshine. The HOA sent a warning. Mats could only be plain or say welcome. She swapped it for a mat that said not welcome, HOA. They didn't mention that one again. 3-4. No bikes in driveways. Tampa, Florida. Here, the HOA banned bicycles left visible anywhere outdoors. That meant garages only, not porches, not fences, not driveways. One dad got a fine because his kid's bike leaned against a tree for 5 minutes. He started calling the HOA neighborhood ninjas because they must have been watching constantly. If only that same energy went into fixing potholes. 3-5. The Christmas wreath crackdown. Minneapolis, Minnesota woman hung a tasteful wreath on her door. Mid-December, perfectly normal. The HOA said it protruded more than 2 inches from the surface. Yes, they measured it. She added a smaller wreath inside the original just to make a point. Now neighbors joke that her house is the Battle of the Bulge. 36. The grass too tall rule. Houston, Texas. This HOA required lawns to be between 2.5 and 3 inches tall. A resident's grass reached 3.5 inches after rain, and he got fined. He mowed it immediately, but they still charged inspection fees. He offered to let them measure his grass daily if they really wanted to. They stopped sending letters after that, probably too much paperwork. 3-7. No garden hoses visible. Scottsdale, Arizona. Apparently, hoses ruined the visual tranquility. Residents had to coil and store them completely after each use. One man built a tiny fake rock structure just to hide his hose. When the HOA complained again, he covered the entire yard in fake rocks. That's what happens when rules meet creativity. 3-8. The no wind chimes rule. Palm Springs, California. Wind chimes were labeled as noise pollution. One elderly woman was fined because her tiny bamboo chime disturbed neighbors' serenity. She replaced it with a Bluetooth speaker playing wind chime sounds on low volume. Totally silent, but technically compliant. Sometimes the best revenge is clever obedience. 3-9. The overwatering fine. San Jose, California. During a drought, the HOA fined people for brown lawns. Then, when the city issued water restrictions, they fined people for watering too much. Homeowners were stuck in a loop. Too green, too brown, to anything. One guy joked, "My grass has anxiety now." Eventually, the HOA had to suspend all lawn-related fines because nobody could win. 40. The mailbox. Color controversy. Cleveland, Ohio. Residents could choose only between bronze or matte black. One homeowner picked a slightly glossy finish violation. He argued it was still black, but the HOA said reflective surfaces are prohibited. He sprayed it with clear matte varnish and called it a day. HOA victory. Technically, common sense victory? Definitely not. 41. The laundry room violation. Las Vegas, Nevada. Nin, one desert neighborhood. A man built a small laundry area on his back patio. The HOA said it violated aesthetic harmony, even though it wasn't visible from the street. They fined him weekly until he covered it with a screen wall. He complied, then painted the wall beige like the rest of the community. Now it blends in so well, the HOA can't even find it anymore. That's poetic justice in stucco form. 42. The fence height battle. Kansas City, Missouri. This HOA required front fences to be exactly 4 feet tall. A homeowner's fence was measured at 4 feet and 1 inch. He got a violation notice with a photo and red circle like a crime scene, so he trimmed the posts by hand, then framed the letter in his garage. That's what you call turning pettiness into wall art. 4-3. No satellite dishes. Fresno, California. One neighborhood banned satellite dishes because they ruined the skyline. A tech-savvy resident disguised his dish as a large fake rock in the garden. It worked perfectly until the HOA president's signal went out and they discovered it. Now they allow dishes as long as they're discreetly camouflaged. Nothing says progress like hiding modern technology inside fake geology. 4-4. The no political signs rule. Des Moines, Iowa. This HOA banned all yard signs, even tiny election ones. One clever homeowner put his sign inside his window. The HOA tried to fine him anyway. He pointed out the rule only said yards. They backed off, and his candidate won. Proof that sometimes grammar beats bureaucracy. 4-5. No outdoor grilling. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This sunny paradise, the HOA banned outdoor grilling on patios. Their reasoning: smoke disrupts the uniform aroma of the neighborhood. A resident threw a barbecue protest, serving only cold sandwiches. 50 neighbors showed up. It became a tradition. Every year, they now host a cold BBQ festival. That's how you turn nonsense into community bonding. 4-6. The doorbell camera ban. Austin, Texas. When smart doorbells became popular, this HOA banned them as invasive surveillance. Homeowners argued they were for security, not spying. The HOA insisted they made others feel watched. Ironically, the board had its own cameras pointed at driveways, so the rule was dropped after someone called them out for hypocrisy caught in 1080p. 47. The grass color spray scandal. Phoenix, Arizona. During the summer drought, some residents sprayed their lawns green with turf paint. The HOA said artificial coloring violated authenticity standards. One homeowner joked, "But my grass is literally dead. How authentic can you get?" They fined him anyway. He repainted it brown and wrote "Happy Now" in green letters. That message lived rent-free in the HOA's head for months. Poor 8. No kiddie pools. Charlotte, North Carolina. Mom set up a small inflatable pool for her kids in the backyard. The HOA said it violated the temporary structures rule. She drained it, filled it with plastic balls, and called it a recreational art installation. The HOA didn't know how to categorize that, so they left her alone. Creativity always wins against copy-paste. 4-9. The no curtains after midnight case. San Francisco, California. One luxury condo board actually banned keeping lights or curtains visible after midnight. They wanted a uniform nighttime appearance. Residents complained it felt like living in a simulation. One guy set his smart lights to fade slowly from white to purple just to make a point. Now, the rule is gone, but the legend of the purple window guy lives on. 50. The banned lemonade stand. St. Louis, Missouri. In one neighborhood, 2 kids set up a lemonade stand to raise money for charity. The HOA shut it down for unlicensed commercial activity. Neighbors were furious. They organized a community-wide lemonade day. Every driveway had a stand. The HOA finally gave up and rewrote the rule. Moral of the story: never underestimate suburban kids with a cause and a cooler of lemons. And there you have it, 50 of the dumbest, most mind-boggling HOA rules across America. From lawn police to mailbox inspectors, these stories prove one thing: the suburbs may look peaceful, but behind every manicured hedge lies a rulebook waiting to strike. So next time you move into a neighborhood with an HOA, read the fine print. Or you might get fined for breathing too loudly after 6 p.m. Maybe. Next time we discuss 50 outrageous city ordinances you didn't know existed. Or perhaps 50 bizarre animal laws that actually made it into law books. Until then, like, subscribe, and tell me which HOA rule shocked you the most. And remember, always keep your lawn at exactly 3 inches. Or else.